Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. So today we are going to be doing another interview in the little series that I do. It's called A Conversation With. I just shared the playlist on the community tab because on this series we've had Deets and Nanya and Bindi. And now I am so excited. I'm going to go ahead and bring her up. We have Chasing, which this is really a cool moment for me. Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Good. Hey, chat. Good to see
Well,
everybody.
while the intro was going, I had to
I love it.
run outside and bring all my stuff to the porch because, like, it's with you. And now I'm gonna sit on my porch and I have to do
Don't
the
make me
interview.
join from my phone. I'll be on the porch too.
I would love that. No, this is so cool for me because I have watched you and had such truly deep respect for you for a long time. And so for you to come on here, I'm so excited. So thank you.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, so hey everybody in chat. I'm not gonna say individual hellos because I want to get right into it since I was late, and I'm sorry about that. The one, the only, Chasing.
The award-winning YouTuber.
Hey,
So funny when
okay,
we do that.
listen. My award on the thing because I think that's really freaking cool. Honestly, you are an award-winning YouTuber. I know you guys make it a joke, but it's really cool. So before we even get started, will you tell us like a little bit about that? What was the award and
Yeah,
how?
it's because I care about it so much. Poor thing, sad. It is called. I can take off my little screen thingy, but it's called the Helen Keller Award, and it says category Real Lives, Real Stories, awarded to Chasing. And then they just do this really cute little design on it. It was very sweet. So it was the
Aw.
first year, and you had to have under 50,000 subscribers, um, be a female, and be have an impactful video. And they used a combination of their team and then AI to find videos that they were interested in. And there's a bunch of categories, and this one was Real Lives, Real Stories, and it was about a woman. I just found this really crazy story. This woman was convinced that she was dying by her best friend. And I mean, she did end up dying, but
Mm,
the story in itself was absolutely crazy. So
that
that's what it
is so
was.
cool.
We had a
Well, you
little
deserve
award.
it.
Yeah, it was great. It was so cute. And then they sent a mirror, this little pocket mirror. And when you flip it open on the inside of it, it says something like, "You're amazing." It was just so sweet. They did very
Aw,
good. Yeah.
that is sweet. Well, you deserve it. And you know what? I was looking at your channel, like preparing for this, and I've got all these like questions about the cases I want to ask you. I want to pick your brain. I'm so freaking excited to do that. But I was looking at like your older videos, and you have like this Junior's alleged killer says you got the wrong guy. 358,000 views.
Yeah.
Like, wow. So some of these videos have a lot of reach, even if we don't know you for these cases. Like these are some of your biggest videos are things I
That you
didn't
guys
even know about.
didn't know about. Yeah. The my biggest one was probably, I want to say 1.5 million, and I probably have that hidden too. I
Oh wow.
I put a bunch of stuff private just because. And that was
Yeah.
on Junior's case as well. Junior was out of the Bronx. Ugh, have you ever heard of the case?
No. Uh-uh.
Oh my
Wasn't
gosh.
familiar with it.
So he lived in the Bronx, young kid, a teenager, and he was going to the store, getting ready to come back from the store. He ran out to meet one of his friends, and he was seen by gang members, and you see the footage of them following him and then coming back, and you'll see like he looks around and he runs. He's running out of a store. So he should have been protected in that store, but he wasn't. The store owner got scared. Junior tried
Mm,
to run behind the counter and push himself in so that they couldn't get him,
yeah.
but the store owner was afraid, so he pushed him out, and they took a machete, and it was
Oh
absolutely
my God.
horrible. Yeah. Then they were searching for the guys. So I was actually camping while all of it was going on. So I was following it on my phone and then making these little videos. And as they were catching them, we would be posting about it. It was brutal because it was a
Oh
case
my
of
gosh.
mistaken identity.
Oh my. So the store, that is so sad. The store owner was, oh, but I can understand being scared because he could have ended up the same way, but also, oh,
It was so awful. And then, his mom coming out, and you come to find out the guys were from like other countries and they were in gangs there as well. And then, I mean, the gang had ties to a lot of pretty big crime gangs in the area in the Bronx. It was terrible. And he was just a kid. He was
oh
just
my gosh.
like a sweet, sweet kid, too.
That is so freaking sad.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So, um, before we get into like, because I have a bunch of cases I want to talk to you about. Before we get into that, though, if people aren't familiar with your channel, like, how would you describe what you're doing over there?
For what I did for a long time, I guess, was just cover the cases that interested me most. I came to YouTube because of Kenneka Jenkins. She was a young lady who died in a freezer in Chicago, and it seemed like the hotel really didn't care. She went to a party with a bunch of her friends, and they were drinking, but nobody thought that she was overly intoxicated. But
Oh, yeah.
apparently she must have been, because she ended up in the basement and going into a freezer that they were supposed to be working on that side of the restaurant that was downstairs. And she got in and it locked behind her and she died in there. But the craziest part of the story was they were all in the hotel room together. They all leave and they're like, shit, forgot my phone. So two of the girls go back inside and they leave Kenneka sitting there alone. And when they come back out 2 minutes later, she's completely gone. But she was right near the elevator. So she took it and they couldn't find her.
Oh my gosh,
They
yeah.
went to the front desk. They called her mother. They looked for her. Nobody could find her. The hotel got mad because they were like knocking on doors. They ended up calling the police on the mom because she went there to look for her. And they
Yep, I
couldn't
remember that.
find her. It was brutal. So I started with that. And I definitely was not into true crime. My mom,
Really?
no, I hated true crime. I thought it was so morbid and
Oh
sickening.
my gosh.
Oh, I
Wow.
thought it was horrible. My mom had every true crime book in the world. Anne Rule was like her favorite ever. And then anything about Boston. So any gangs in Boston, she had all the books. So when
Oh, that's
she
cool.
died, right? So Kenneka's case and my mom dying all happened at the same time.
Right.
Her books, I took her books. And they were all
Oh
true
my
crime. I'm like,
gosh.
I am so never reading these. And then I did. I read all of them just
Oh
to,
my God.
get an idea, like,
Yeah.
why did this psychopath like these? And I ended up becoming addicted. That was it. Now I
I was
won't.
gonna ask you that question about how you got into it, so I'm so glad that, like, that's interesting, and oh my gosh, wow. Go ahead, though, finish. Now you
Yeah,
won't
she's
what?
like a huge Anne Rule fan, and Anne Rule did the interview with what's his name, the handsome killer there. The handsome guy?
Ted Bundy, maybe?
Ted
I don't know.
Bundy. Yeah,
Oh.
it was called The Killer Beside Me, and she worked with him at like a suicide prevention hotline. And I remember my mom reading it and telling me, like, oh my God, this lady, the author, worked with the serial killer. And I'm like, Mom, that's sick. Like, why would you even listen to this? Like, why would you read this? It's gross. She's like, no, it's fascinating. Okay.
It is fascinating.
But then I ended up reading it and I was like, oh, that is kind of fascinating. And then Kenneka's case happened and I just got so entrenched on Facebook. I didn't know YouTube did this kind of stuff. That was really weird to me. But a friend of mine, Stacy, would
Yeah.
say, they're live on YouTube. And I'm like, what does that mean? And she's like, you can go
Oh,
over there and
wow.
watch them. They're talking live. And I don't even know if we had a chat at that point yet. The chat maybe come out a little after that, but I just would go and watch. Like I was fascinated that these people, some of them were in Chicago, and they were reporting on Kenneka's case. And I
Right.
became part of a community, a very tight community, the Kenneka Jenkins community. And then when there were no more details, it happens just like it happens here with Sebastian's case or Summer's case. People start fighting with each other, and that's how the community ended.
I was going to ask, how did the community kind of split ways? And oh, wow. So when
That's when I
information
met
ran
Uni.
out.
Yeah. Unitonica was in that community.
Oh, wow.
A bunch of people who are still with me today were there then. Country,
Oh, that's
XX
cool.
Country was there.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Uh,
Melissa is how I found the case. Like, she's the one who taught me about it. And
terrible
yeah,
case.
that'd be a cool discussion to have one night, though, with you and with
That's how I
Melissa.
met Gray Hughes, too. He was all for, oh, it was just an accident. And I was for, no, they set her up and killed her. And we just kept going back and forth arguing. And then finally, I kind of came over to the accident theory because there was no proof of anything else.
Right. Okay. Interesting. So
Yeah,
Gray
that's how
Hughes,
Gray met. Mhm.
you guys do you still have, you had some kind of podcast together, channel
We did.
together?
We did. We had a podcast together called So Mean Allegedly. And the reason we named it is because I would always say allegedly. And everybody who knows Gray is like, he's so mean. And so we just called it So Mean Allegedly. And we were going to, it's called Monsters Among Us right now. And we planned on starting it back up, but life, candles, kids,
Right.
all the things. So we haven't.
Yeah. Now, since you mentioned the candles, I want to bring this up because you guys, if you are on my second channel, I've reviewed them a couple times, I think. I've linked them in the description. Your candles are awesome. I love the handmade clay vessels. I think that it's so cool. I know you're expanding and you're doing all these different things, and they're truly really beautiful, beautiful scents. They look beautiful. You guys have to go look because it's really cool. And yeah, what do you have planned with that? Like, I know you have been expanding a lot already.
Yeah, my poor website's been just sitting because I am doing these. Let me take the visual effects off. You can see the whole candle business here. Like I just made all of these because there's a place downtown that I don't know where she got one of my candles, but
Ooh.
she got so these are the 16 ounces. They're pretty
Oh,
big.
they're so
They're
pretty.
really
Wow.
heavy. They're super heavy. So I've made
Yeah.
way too many of these now. And that's what I do in my spare time.
Cool.
I make candles. So I'll be having a permanent space there.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I know, it's been so exciting. It's really
So in your spare time, you're doing candles and animals because you've got a lot of those too.
candles, 7 dogs, 2 cats, 3 rats, 1 bearded dragon who's staring at me now, a new corn snake who just joined the family, and then all the
Oh
fish.
my god. That is just so funny.
We've
You
got a
just
lot
have your
going
hands
on in this
full.
house. And 2
Yeah.
kids, 1 in college and 1 that just started middle school. So
Yeah, 2
yeah,
awesome kids.
I have a career too, which is crazy. My boss just messaged me and said, "Hey, do you have time to meet right now?" And I'm like, "No, actually, I
Oh
don't."
no,
Yeah,
sorry.
so I work virtual for a company in Boston. I've been with them since 2011, and
Oh, cool.
yeah, when we inherited a house, my mom and I, and my sister and I from my mom, and we sold it in Boston when real estate was booming. and I literally picked 10 states and did one of these in North Carolina. I'm like, oh,
What?
that's a warm
That's
place. Yeah.
cool.
And I'd lived in Mississippi and I loved it, but my husband said, no, we're not going back to Mississippi. Pick different states.
Oh, wow. I cannot believe that's how you got to North Carolina. That's so
That's how.
interesting. Oh,
Closed
and
our
for
eyes and did that and was like, okay. So the plan was 3 days in the Raleigh area, 3 days in the Charlotte area. But we came down to the Raleigh area. We went to like Cary and Apex and Wake Forest and all of those. And I was just like, no. And then we drove by a farm in the town that I live in. And my husband has never met a stranger in his life. He pulled up in their driveway because they had like horses and all this stuff. We pull up and they're from New York and they had been down here 20 years. So we just started chatting and I'm like, this is the town we're moving to. That's it. So I thought I was going to have like goats and pigs and, chickens. He moved us into an HOA.
Oh, no. Yeah, because I've seen you on your golf cart, though, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So now I live in an HOA and I can't even have a goat. Nope.
You have an indoor farm, so it's okay.
Yes. And that's why I have them because, I'm like, oh, no goats? Okay, 50 dogs. How about that? So.
Yeah, which you guys, she shares a lot of like her animals and stuff on her channel at times if it's just that kind of live. So make sure you go subscribe and you'll see all of these beautiful fish and the reptiles and the pups and all the things.
Yeah, we have Frenchies and American bullies and a Pomeranian and you name it.
It's so funny though the way our conversation has went because literally in my notes it's went people who don't know you. Then my question was when and how did you get into true crime, and then what is the Kenneka community, and we just went there naturally and it went. Yeah. So, but you have covered. Okay, so I know you covered the situation with Tekashi 6ix9ine. Because I saw some videos on that. And then Watts, I was surprised to see that. So let me ask you, like, do you believe, because you covered Watts right when it happened. These are like very old videos, not after like the documentaries and stuff started coming out. It seemed like when it happened. Right, so what is your opinion on that? Do you believe Chris Watts acted alone?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Nicole probably... I think she's a strange character. She wasn't very upset during her interrogation. She knew he was married. I mean, she had searched Shanann's name, so she knew something was going on there. I think she might have put it in his head, but I think he acted alone. Yeah. I haven't seen any evidence otherwise, like on the video cameras or anything like that. So it led me to believe he did do it alone, but he did it because he wanted to be with her and be free from those kids, which is
right. See, I have questions, and I also wonder, is it possible she came over after? I don't know, because the ping near the house, but then when I started going through the actual discovery recently, I didn't even realize that the garage door was shut like half an hour before Chris or anybody came to the home that day. There's some weird little things like that, like her Googling them so long before, but then they met at work. It's just weird. It's a weird case.
Like, why were you Googling them? That was so strange to me.
Yeah.
It still doesn't make any sense, but because of the neighbor and their ring footage or whatever it is, security footage, I didn't see anything else.
I know.
Like, he put them in that truck and he took them and he did it on his own. But I think he was influenced by her. Absolutely. I think he thought he was going to have this carefree, great life. And that didn't work out.
No, yeah. And then now she's, did you see that she was recently spotted at that funeral?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I guess a funeral was live streamed and somebody watching the funeral must have recognized her and put out the footage, and it's definitely her. But I mean, isn't it weird that a funeral being live streamed, like people found her this way? I thought that was kind of strange. But
whose funeral?
Let me see. It was her friend's mom. But I'm
Oh,
gonna pull it up real fast and show you, just so you, because if you haven't seen, you got to see this. It's kind of crazy. She looks the same. She's maybe gained a little bit of weight. Um,
she came off very yucky to me.
oh my God. Ugh, it's just I same. So let's see it, because I haven't watched this particular video before, but hopefully they just showed the clip of the funeral. But I pulled up the actual funeral and looked at it there too.
Somebody said criminality has it.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Because that looks like a long intro for a short.
No joke. And I got a lot of things I want to ask you about, and I don't want to keep you too long. Okay.
Yeah.
Here it is on her channel.
Let's see.
Let me share screen again. Okay. I can't wait for you to see this. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to link this in the chat.
Chris Watts murdered his pregnant wife, Shanann, and their 2 beautiful daughters. Also, he could start a new life with his mistress, Nicole Kessinger, who essentially went into hiding shortly after the plea deal where Chris admitted to killing his wife and daughters. Now we see Nicole Kessinger for the first time in 7.5 years.
She does give me the creeps. I won't lie about that. She does.
Yeah.
She gives me the, you get the little bumps.
Yeah.
But why is that? Because I know she was involved with Chris, or just because? I don't know. But there's a definite creepy factor with her. But there was, during her interrogation, it was one of the strangest interrogations I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
She's so weird.
I would love to watch some of that with you, or show you some of the footage, like from the Peacock documentary, just some things, like little extra things that have come out since. I would love to get your opinion on it. But you're right. She kind of reminds me of like a Manson girl. You know what I mean? She has that.
Yeah. The eyes and the just staring weird. What are you doing, lady? She was pregnant and those babies were precious. What in the world are you doing?
Look at Nanya. I've been waiting for this interview for a week. An award-winning YouTuber is rare.
Honey, it's very rare. I had to take time off from winning awards to do this.
Anyway, okay, so let me get into our next one, since you're so busy and got to get back to the awards. You covered Jussie Smollett, R. Kelly. Like, I don't want to get too much into this. Heidi Broussard. That one was, and that taught me a lot, Chasing, about like not just accusing people. Because her fiance Shane.
Yeah. So many people picked him apart. Thought he was guilty because of the way he was acting. Look at this, look at that, look at this. And of course, it's your first inclination to think, well, who would have the motivation? Why would somebody do this who didn't know her? And then it turns out it's not him. And
I know.
Most people didn't care that they accused him. They were just like, well, it wasn't him. Okay. What? You guys tore him to bits.
Yeah.
People didn't care.
Tore him to bits while his fiance and baby were missing and kidnapped. And he's already struggling with that, obviously. I remember people were like, he's acting like Chris Watts. He's got the side to side thing going on. And come to find out, he had nothing to do with it. That taught me such a lesson there. I'm like, oh, I felt terrible because I thought it was him too. I didn't tear him to bits.
I mean, I think a lot of people felt like it was him because it's always the husband. It's always the spouse, the boyfriend, whatever, the wife. So you think that, and it makes you think in other cases. It's always a good case to reference back when there's something with a family dynamic that you don't always know for sure that it's somebody in the family. You just don't. You have to back up and stop thinking that we all have degrees in, psychology and body language experts. We're not any of those things. We don't know. We don't. But, people on here, they'll claim they know everything about it. But
Yep. And they just do not care. And I want to get into Summer Wells for a second. But before that, let me ask you, Kendrick Johnson. I know that we've actually,
Ooh.
one of the panels I was first on with you a long time ago was about that.
Right.
How do you feel about that case? Do you think they got it right?
No, I don't. I
Me
don't
neither.
think that. It simply doesn't make sense to me that he would put himself upside down into that position. I I just don't believe it, even up until now. And so I did a whole series on Kendrick's case. I probably had to stop 10 different times. So you'll see me in different outfits in the same video because I would be crying. And I'm like, I just can't
Oh,
keep doing this because listening to his family
oh
and
God.
knowing,
Yeah.
this kid, he's no longer here, but people are picking this case apart to prove the parents wrong, to prove other people wrong. It all becomes about something else and no longer about the victim. So it didn't feel like it was about him anymore. There was a pastor, and I believe she was a pastor. Anyway, she was one of the leaders for the NAACP there, and she truly believed that uh, that he was killed. So she went
Yeah.
through it and she come out on the other end, no longer believing that. So when I got to the end of that, I was just like, oh my gosh, this threw me for a loop
Oh, I
because
didn't see that.
I figured she would come out and say that she felt this way too. But she didn't. After going through everything, she didn't. And I think she felt like it was the boys, the sons of the FBI guy.
Mm-hmm.
But when she came out on the end of it, she just felt like it was a tragic accident. That was a hard one because I was filming as I learned it. So
Right.
I didn't wait until it was done. I would learn stuff and film and go. And when I got to the end of what she said, I was just like, wait, what? No, I didn't expect it. But I still think something happened. I don't know what, but I feel like something. There are jump cuts in the editing of the
Yeah. Why?
videos.
There's
I don't
so much chasing, just like the friend. There have been kids that have came forward and said, I was told this, and there's just so much that missing video. The fact that the blood in the gym that was splattered on the walls was not tested. Why would you not test
They
that? Like
tested
this,
it later, and they did say that it was blood, but it was old, and it was not Kendrick's, allegedly.
but didn't
They
they
ended
not
up
test it
finally.
against anyone else, right? Like what if it was someone he was fighting with, or
It could have been.
I, I don't know. There's too much there. And the way that he was in the mat, like even that picture I just showed, for one, look at the shoes like at his feet. But also, the mat was 15 inches in diameter, if I'm not mistaken, and his shoulders were 19. Here's his dad, like showing, like, you can't, these are small. You're not, I don't know. It's
You
just
can't.
really hard to,
There is a video on YouTube where somebody does the mat test, and they put them in, and I mean, it's almost instant what you deal with when you're upside down like that and you try to yell. So that led me the other way because
interesting.
once you're in there and you can't breathe, there's no air anymore because the little bit of air you have is underneath your head. All of your blood's now pooling to your head. If you're starting to panic and you vomit or
Oh,
you
God.
hyperventilate, there's nowhere for all of that to go. The shoes, he could have been trying to like pull himself backwards with his feet and kick them off. So where would they go? Down.
Okay.
They
That's a
would
good
land
point.
down.
But what
So
about the injuries to his neck and stuff?
um the injuries to his neck. Well,
And his mouth was busted, but I could see that happening, but, like, the neck.
from being in that position, maybe.
Mm,
That's
it's
a
just
lot of weight,
that's
pressure
true,
on your
yeah.
head and on the back of your neck as well. But I mean, he's had what, 3 autopsies now? And 2 had
Mhm.
blunt force and 1 didn't. I believe that something happened to him. I can totally see the other side of it, but I
Yeah.
really do believe it just People say, oh, Occam's razor, go with the most logical answer. Well, is the most logical answer that a very bright young man is going to climb upside down into a
Yep.
standing? But people say, well, it was kind of towards the back. So what was he supposed to do? Move these 700-pound mats out of the way to get down there? Well, I don't know. Yes. I mean, I guess not, and kids do think they're invincible, and they do think they can
That's
do anything.
true.
I can just reach down there and get it. And then he
It's true.
realizes, no, I can't. And now I'm stuck and nobody can hear me because there are so many mats around me. It's become soundproof and I'm stuck.
Yeah.
So
You're right about
look,
kids. I remember being a kid too. I thought I was invincible too. I never worried about
Oh,
getting
yeah.
hurt or anything. I just, I can do it. I can carry it. I can lift,
For sure.
whatever.
Yeah. We can do anything until you can't. And then you find out, oh shit, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
We are. Yeah.
But,
I don't know. I could go, but I ended the series with, I really have no idea. I could not come up with a conclusion.
Well, we have to know that sometimes cover-ups do happen though, too. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of corruption and different stuff. That's just the truth,
Yeah,
so
especially small town, crap where the people opposing you are the kids of the FBI. I mean,
Yep.
of course, I've done series of those types of things too, where the corruption is just too much and you're never going to get to the truth.
Yeah. And that really sucks. It really does. But there's just so much misinformation and being far away, trying to look at it through the internet. I think you're right. You'll never get to the truth. Okay. So now I want to talk about summer for a moment. So that's really, I think, when I was introduced to you and your channel. And just so you know, I was personally I thought Dawn and Candace were involved. I didn't know how or what. My opinions have shifted. And I think I was too aggressive towards them and too judgy, right? These are grieving parents. And I was just judging them. It didn't make, so many things didn't make sense. But you always were very vocal for, no, stop, don't judge them. Give them a second. They're just people. They may live differently. And that meant something to me. And was part of changing how I see these cases and talking about these cases. I think it is really important to not accuse people without the facts. I mean, you could ruin their life. But at the end of the day, so she's still not been found. And how do you feel? Where do you sit with it now? And what was your experience covering it and meeting them and stuff like that?
I remember seeing the missing post. It was just a post on Facebook at first, and then it turned into an Amber Alert overnight. And I immediately put out a video and just thought, oh my gosh, of course they're going to find her. She's got bright blonde hair. You can't miss her. They're going to find her. It'll be fine by the morning. And then I got up the next day and I'm like, oh my God, that little girl's still missing. So just like anybody else involved in true crime, you start looking and digging and trying to figure out what in the heck's happening? Where is this baby? And then you see the parents. And just like Heidi Broussard's husband, the first thing you go to is, oh yeah, they definitely did something. And in your mind, that's what you're thinking too. Or maybe one of her brothers did something, or maybe she fell off the hill, or maybe somebody stole her. And before I ever saw the hill, before I've run the hill, gone up and down it, to me it looked treacherous. If she fell down that hill, something terrible could have happened. But the reason I didn't want to judge them is because Candace to me seemed like a very sad human being. She seemed very, maybe not like the brightest lady, and we're judging her based off what we think we know. And a lot of people were making fun of her. She doesn't wear a bra. She doesn't have teeth. She looks like a man. All of these horrible things that had nothing to do with Summer and the way that they lived. I lived like that as a kid, but in an apartment, not in a shack I was in an apartment in Boston, but we were just as poor. And yeah, there were roaches and bugs and whatever else. And, sometimes we didn't have food, but here I am. You can't judge them because they're poor. So that was a personal thing. That really bothered me that people were doing that to them. And I didn't know, could they have done something? Yes. But you need to bully them? Do you need to be mean to them and harass them and go in front of their house and call them horrible names? No, you
Yeah.
don't. And it made me so angry for so long that they were doing that.
Yeah.
And then, we made the trip out there and I met people like Nana and all the people. And that changes everything when you go there and you see that place in person. It's very different. It's such a different feeling. Those are kids from the country. Those babies ran around with no shoes, going up and down hills. That property is not cleaned up, so there could be anything. God knows what's there. And they were tough. They weren't little snowflake kids. They were tough kids. So to me, I was like, do I think somebody could have come on this hill and get her? Probably unlikely. Do I think she went down the hill? She could have. She could have. And when I met them, no, I didn't think they could have done anything at all. That was my heart speaking. That wasn't facts,
Right.
When I met Dawn and Candace, I immediately loved Dawn. I felt like he looked like a broken human being. He just looked like somebody took his heart and threw it away. That was it. Candace deals with things differently. She's a different creature altogether. You're not going to get a lot of emotion out of Candace. You're going to get, she avoids things. She kind of just, she'll try and like blow it off or make a joke or subject. She's very childlike, very like a young teen, like she's definitely experienced life, but you'd never know it by talking to her. You'd never know it.
Wow. Which that makes so much sense because Don's the one out here constantly trying to speak. He's still doing interviews and stuff trying to speak out for Summer. Yeah. Candace doesn't really do them. So like your explanation of them as people makes sense. She's avoiding it. Oh, which I can't blame them. Who could blame you? The way they get attacked, the way Chris and Katie get it. I mean, how can you blame people for being quiet when
it's
they get attacked like that?
It is. And I'll be completely honest. My feelings have done huge changes. And some people have seen that, if I'm typing in a chat or talking or whatever, and they want to know, well, why did your view change? Well, it's changed based on things that have come to light that I know about. Does it have anything to do with Summer specifically? No, but it just makes me not think of them as highly as I did prior. So
I know what you're talking about. Some of the things that.
Yeah, just some, there's so much that's happened with them over the years. And you try to be supportive and you try to do whatever you can to make them feel like they're not alone in all of this. But at some point, you got to guard your own heart and say, this is about Summer. It's not about you guys. And for a long time, you make it about them and you want to protect them too. But it isn't our job to protect them. It's Candace's job to speak on her own. And she can. She can. So.
And will she ever be freaking found, man? God almighty.
I hope so.
Me too. It's just so heartbreaking. I went there too in person. I did not talk to them. I didn't even try. I didn't want to go on their property. I was trying to keep, be respectful. So I just went to the town and drove past and looked at the hillside on the main road right there and that kind of stuff. I said this even
up to the property. It's beautiful. It really is.
Well, it reminds me, Chasing, and I said this back then, of where I grew up. So I grew up in southern West Virginia, Appalachian Mountains on a farm. And, there were kids that lived like my house on the inside. My mom was very neat and stuff, but there were kids that lived just like that. That
Yeah.
was not like anything abnormal for the Appalachian area. It's just not for people who don't have a lot of money. You know
No.
what I mean? And kids do. You're right. We ran around outside barefoot in the creeks, running up and down mountains, climbing trees. Oh, you know what I mean? Everything. So
It's beautiful. It's just very pretty area.
yeah,
And
it
so
is.
it's all trees and dark roads and so much land. I don't know. I think a lot of mistakes were made too. I mean, at the beginning, I think they did a great search for Summer all those days, and they just couldn't find her. So use all the information, branch out further into the community, and try to figure things out. I don't know. I mean, I'm not law enforcement, so I really can't say, but you hear rumors of this or that,
Mhm.
and you wonder, well, did they check there? Did they do this? And you just never know because they're not going to give you all of the details. So you're just left sitting here pondering constantly, and you're not coming up with anything. And that's kind of why I stopped. Am I helping, or am I just adding more rumors? I don't think I'm helping
Right.
anymore. I'm guessing, and my guess is as good as your guess. We don't know.
Yep. And the tenant and TBI is tight-lipped. They
Very,
ain't giving much.
very.
And
And I think they got
speaking of
sick
that,
and tired of it. Sick and tired of people calling and harassing and being idiots. So
oh yeah, I can imagine it got really bad at times. I remember people calling on their channels all the time and stuff. And yeah, it just wasn't. Now, Summers, this is kind of crazy the way this evolved because I want to come back to like, I have some Gabby Petito and other stuff, but since we're here, Summers' case, it blew up. There was a lot of interest. It seemed like information stopped, drama started. The parents were out. When they stopped coming out as much, fighting, like you were saying, ensued in the community. It was terrible. But then it kind of like, then we had Sebastian Rogers go missing. And I feel like that kind of changed things and morphed the community.
Oh yeah,
And
it did.
another case out of Tennessee, TBI again, very tight-lipped. I cannot believe what it has turned into. A lot of the channels that covered Summer, some haven't went to Sebastian, but a lot did,
A lot.
It's freaking heartbreaking to see what it's turned into. And then it morphs again into the BBN, but
It is now the BBN. It is no longer Sebastian's community. It went. I thought, okay, here's another chance to do some good. What are people going to do with it? And before you know it, there's no more information. And the minute the information runs out, or the way that people are covering things, it's always been my theory, and I've always said the same thing. You have to have a villain. And in this case, there were two villains. Well, maybe three, but both of the men, Seth and Chris. So
yeah,
you chose Seth's side and you thought he was more credible and what he was saying about Katie was accurate, then you're all over here on the green team. But if you felt like Seth was not the best dad, and who is he to be saying anything about these poor parents, then you became on the dark side, or whatever they call them over there. So it became personal because you're not getting any information. We know nothing. You have certain people with very big mouths on this platform who were willing to do the work. They were willing to be the ones to stand up front and fight. Like Betty, for example. She'll stand there in the gap and she'll yell the loudest and she'll be that
right.
person.
I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And once you have that, then you're going to have people on this side who are going to come just as hard. And before you know it, it's Betty versus whoever, or Brittany versus this one, or that one, Tracy versus Alex. That's how it's going to be. And that gives people the drama that they need, that they're not getting from that case anymore, because there's nothing. People say, can't we just get back to Sebastian? Sure, go ahead. Go do a live stream on Sebastian, just going over the facts of his case and see how many people are in your chat.
Yep.
No.
And there ain't many
live
facts
on
either.
the BNN network and you'll see. because
Yep.
it becomes what you need. It becomes what you are feeding people. As long as you're feeding them, they're going to consume it. So
It's
keep feeding
crazy.
them.
And the movement also more from like, because at one point it was like what was happening outside of Quentin Simon's house, which you covered too, which is on my list. You know, some of that was just terrible, and it makes people we start to become passionate. We care. We don't want to see this happening. So I
Mhm.
can see how you like, because I was all for it. Like let's hold people accountable, do true crime the right way. But then we have like these old personal fights that have went on for years between creators coming into it and just all this stuff. And now it's a mess.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is anymore, but
The outrage is borrowed. It's performative. It's not real. I don't believe it's real for 1 second. Quentin Simon, I truly thought was real until you stop for a second and think back to them saying, I will be at every single hearing. I'll stop everything I'm doing and be in court when Leilani goes to court. I will be, here when they find him and do a memorial. I'll be here when blah, blah, blah. No, you won't.
Yeah.
No, you won't. Because
You
he'll
weren't.
be found in June, whatever, and then she doesn't even go to court for 18 months. By then, you're on a new case with new super chats and new subscribers of people who've never heard of Quentin. They didn't go through that with you, so they're not
Nope.
paying you to be there. Now you've got to pay for yourself to be there? Oh, no, we're not going to do any of that.
Yep.
You don't even cover the case. You don't even cover the mother's court case. But you were out there harassing people to the point of police coming constantly in a neighborhood where there was a terminal person, another person with autism.
Oh God, it was awful.
And you just stayed out there doing it because you cared so much. No, you
playing
didn't.
crying babies and shit. Oh,
I didn't care. Playing crying babies.
yeah.
Unbelievable. And I thought too in the moment, it's because they care. But once you start watching the pattern and you see, no, you're just there because Leilani is the villain. But the best part of it all was they were 10 steps ahead. They just didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Which was amazing to find out later. Like, oh, they had the boyfriend mic'd up. They knew everything. You were out there wasting your breath for nothing. You did nothing.
Immediately they had him mic'd up in the hotel. You're so right. And following through is so important. Like, I want the details. I want to know. I don't know how people I don't know, whatever. It's just disappointing. It really is disappointing.
Well, I
to
think
see,
it's
that's
the
what
difference.
matters.
It's a difference, Alex, between true crime and crama. If you want the crama, you can go to any case right now and just jump on it and cause some ruckus. Any case. And you'll find people who will be drawn to you because you hate this person or you think this person is guilty. You can pick any case right now. You could pick Charlie Kirk's murder and say, well, the Travis kid really reminds me of my brother and it's so sad. And Charlie was really hateful. There'll be plenty of people. Or you could go with Candace Owens' view. Say, stop being mean to her. I think that Israel could be involved. Before you know it, even though you're faking empathy on this whole thing, people are flocking in because they want to be part of that disdain for somebody else. They need to be part of it. It's a very sick situation. If you go under all of these videos, and because Charlie's death is so trending at the moment, you will find two completely separate sides. The people who are following the Candace Owens people and the people who aren't.
Right.
And they are vicious.
Already happening. And
horrible.
That's pretty crazy, but you're right. That is the difference. And with true crime, we want the details. Like, I want all the facts. I want the actual real information. I don't want, I get sick of seeing the Facebook posts and the rumors. I want the police information, the interviews, the evidence, like that kind of stuff.
That's
but
how it should be.
Well, for me, I didn't really cover Sebastian because my sister-in-law is the vice principal at his school. And when he went missing, she messaged me and told me, because she knew what I did on YouTube. I talked about true crime. She said, hey, this young man is missing. We're all devastated. Like, can you just look at it? And I'll never forget thinking the whole way, if she got on here on YouTube and saw the reporting, I would be so embarrassed that I even do YouTube, because these people know him. That's my family who knows him. And it's embarrassing.
Yeah,
It's
you
shame.
always got to kind of think, well, I did kind of think during Summer's case, like, what if her parents see this? And I did try to be respectful to them. I mean, if I had to say something that was ugly about them, I mean, I would say it, but I would try to say it in the nicest way that I could. But we've learned now, these parents, a lot of them, watch YouTube. And if you're not concerned about the parents because you think there could be a crime, pick somebody else. Pick your dad, your pastor, your child, your cousin that you respect. Pick anybody and ask yourself, am I proud of what I just put out? Would I let them watch it and say, yeah, this represents me and my channel and what I do on YouTube?
Exactly.
Sometimes no. There's days that I'm like, oh, Jesus, Tracy, what are you doing? But,
yeah.
No.
It's crazy to think about like that, and I wonder if other people, maybe they should, think about it like that sometimes. So Nunya has a question. She said, how far is okay for public healthy speculation on cases? Is that a personal line for you?
I don't even know what healthy speculation is at this point, and I've thought about it a lot. Healthy speculation could be Heidi Broussard's case. Heidi goes missing, the baby goes missing, and the husband's at home alone. We're speculating, saying, I'm watching this. It really reminds me of Chris Watts. His behavior's like Chris Watts. I mean, look at how he's answering those questions. His movements are weird. Where was he? Was he even at work? Me saying it, Alex saying it, Dietz saying it, Ward saying it, Stinson saying it. Before you know it, JLR is saying it. You've got 200,000 people who think this man might have killed his girlfriend, his wife. It started as healthy speculation. It looks suspicious to me, and it turns into a rumor that can hurt this person. How do you take those words back once they're out of your mouth? How do you say, well, I didn't mean that I thought he killed her. I was just saying.
Right.
Would you want it done to you? If my son went missing today and it became a news story and I had nothing to do with it, they'd go back and look at my YouTube videos or something, like she was into true crime. So if she wanted to get rid of him, she knew how. How would you feel? I don't know if speculating's even healthy. I don't know. There's a case
At all,
right now. A lady went missing off a cruise ship, but a lady by the same name was one of Epstein's victims. So is it her? They look alike, but I refuse to even put it out because what if it's not her? I don't know. And it would be speculation. I could bring it to a creator like you who has morals and say, we should go over this. But as soon as we do and somebody else picks it up, it becomes a thing. And I hate feeling responsible for that. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either. You're right. I think if it's speculating about like facts that police have already given you that isn't harmful to a person, that's, maybe that would be okay.
Well, but I think people make up facts though. Look at the green hoodie person in Roadhouse with Sebastian. That person, they were finding.
Oh my God.
But police put that out. So they had it. They let us see it. And before you know it, Green Hoodie became a criminal, and they did a deal with Katie.
God,
and I'm like, imagine being that person. All you did was go out to eat And
No shit.
now you murdered a kid, or you did the handoff with the mother? Oh my gosh. I don't know. That's a good question.
Kimberly, I think you just have to talk about the facts and, like I said, speculate. Maybe if it's a fact from police and it's not harmful to somebody, don't be accusing people of being involved. Don't be like making people the bad guy without the police saying they're the bad guy. After
Right.
the police say this is a suspect or we've arrested him and charged him, then okay, dig into that person. But don't be like digging into people and all that before you know. Okay,
I think
so
Web Sleuths
okay.
handles it really well. The website Web Sleuths, you're only allowed to post verified sources. You're not allowed to sleuth personally, like on a Facebook or anything like that. If it's posted on a news site on Facebook, you can. And if there's any available information in the legal realm, you can if it's related. You can't just go pulling shit off of everybody's stuff and saying, oh, I think it could be this because I looked up her boyfriend and her boyfriend murdered somebody 17 years ago, manslaughter, and got out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Got to be him. And that's what we do here in true crime in this strange community is we go look up every person they've ever known and we pick somebody.
Yeah.
And before you know it, that person's name is trending all over the place. I
It's
heard it was
insane.
this guy.
Just like hoodie guy in Idaho. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
was blamed. Even Steve Gonsalves was concerned and wanted police. He said something on an interview, about people leaving the country because there was a rumor hoodie guy had left the country and all this. None of that had anything to do with it. He's an innocent kid looking out for those girls that night. And I don't know. For me,
Everybody was blamed in Idaho for. Good Lord in heaven.
I think we just need to be careful about not pulling up Facebook groups and just going through like random shit. It needs to be like more than that. And I try to remind people that watch here, wait for police to tell us, wait for documents from the court. Even they can be wrong. You know what I mean? Because I know that the mainstream media reports wrong.
Why do you think people don't do that? Is it easy to do?
Yeah, easier.
All that research?
No effort. Yeah.
No. The research is hard. I don't think people realize how much work goes into doing a true crime case responsibly versus just having an open panel, talking your shit, pulling up Facebook pages, pulling up whatever video you can find here and there, reading whatever and letting it go wild. It's completely irresponsible. It's wrong.
Yep.
You're hurting real people and you don't want to put in the work. However, that's what people want.
Yeah. Well, look at Nanya's comment. She said, I like to hear different perspective and thoughts. It's frowned upon, but I want to hear these discussions. But I think there's a responsible way to do it. But like you said, it takes work. You got to actually dig for the facts and not just pull up the rumors and the shit that, sure, you can put it on your thumbnail and your title. This shocking thing might be happening in Sebastian's case over and over again. But
it works. It works.
It does work. It does.
Look at one
for
of the
masses.
biggest channels in our little sector here. Their name has 3 letters and he's a man. He can transport wherever he wants. Like he just blinks his eyes and he's in the next state. I don't know how he does it. Look at that channel.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Insane. It's insane. And it
scary.
works.
Yeah.
It works. So
okay, well, I have some other cases I wanted to ask you about, but before I do, and it'll be just quick questions, but your Salem witch trials video, I'm sorry, okay, first of all, I loved that. I thought it was such a great video. I loved the comparison. I never took it as you're saying this is the same or as drastic or as serious as what happened there, right? Lives were lost. You're not saying, oh, this is the same as that, but you're comparing what people do in these
it is.
community situations or, how did that come to you? How did you even think of that?
I just kept thinking about the mob mentality, and that's truly what it feels like here a lot of the times is if your friend doesn't like this person, or if you hear this one thing that's just too much for you, you kind of just jump on the bandwagon. And I see a lot of it, even with people I like. They would rather be liked than be morally okay with themselves. With the BNN network, I've seen a lot of that. Is that person blameless? Hell no. But
Right.
if you watch it, it's like every minute of every day, it's like, get her, get her, get her, prove it, do it, do it, do it. Even down to the most minute things. And at
Yep.
what point, why are we listening with fucking headphones to somebody's kid talk in the background so that we can later pick that apart? Why are we rewinding 20 times to hear what her man has to say that's irrelevant? It became a hunt for any little piece because you now need that content because the locals are hungry. You got to feed them. You got to do it every day
Yes.
because they got to eat every day or they're going to starve. And if my store doesn't have what you want, the next store does, right? So
Yep.
if it's you and I and we're covering her and you decide I need to take a break from this, I'm going to take all your people because I'm going to make sure they're getting what they want. And if you watch closely with the main people who are covering this and they decide to take a day off or cover something totally different, the same people that'll have 12, 13, 1,400 people will have 5. And the person covering the BNN network will have 2,000.
Yep.
To me, that is people wanting to burn a witch at the stake. You'll burn her for any reason whatsoever. Her son has a chipped tooth. What do I care about this?
Right.
What do I care about this? Why? The cat. I don't what? But there's nothing too small. If you report on it, everybody's there. They gotta know what happened today.
True.
You wake up and check your phone. Like, oh, okay. Oh, this one went live about her drug test. Oh my God, I gotta watch that. That's 4 hours.
People are addicted.
Absolutely addicted. Because now the hate is so overwhelming and the fake concern for the kids or for her nodding out is so overwhelming that we just have to make sure. Did she pass out last night? Did she? How many times? 4? Oh my God. It was only 3 the other day. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Like, you don't care about this person. And you don't care about your kids. If tomorrow we gave you somebody crazier and worse, you'd be there. You would be there. And you would find a reason to pretend that you cared. But you don't. You don't. You don't. You don't.
Yeah.
Because people who care don't do it in public. You go behind the scenes. You try and get in touch with them. You get in touch with people close to them. You try to get resources. If you really believe that there's drugs involved, you try to help in some way if you care. Now, if you're just doing it because you think that she's a lolcow, say that. Don't pretend.
Right. Like that it's about concern. Correct.
It's not. And I mean, I care that I feel like the tension in that house is so high that you could explode at any moment. Because I know if that was happening to me, I mean, if her man doesn't care and they're making that money and he's just like, keep entertaining him, who gives a shit? Like, our pockets are full and the rest of it's just like an act. Great. Keep going then. What are they going to do to you? Call CPS again? I mean, they're not going to do anything to you. And your pockets are full and their pockets are full. But because there's that legal situation going on, allegedly, maybe she doesn't want this to happen. Maybe the money isn't satisfying them. I don't know. I've heard so many things about that whole situation. So I'm like, is this all an act? Is this like a victim thing? I don't know. I just know that the whole community has become toxic because she covered the case one way and people didn't like it. And there was already past beef and now it's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And it's so out of control now. it'll never stop now. I mean, there's C&Ds and lawsuits and who the hell knows what else. So we're
Well,
stuck.
I'm
We're
thinking
stuck in the
it'll
BNN network.
and you can't help but want to know what's going on, like in your own community. And
Of course.
one of you guys had said, you know, I think it was Kimberly, people like a train wreck, you can't look away. But the thing is that like there is so much important shit going on in this world. There are so many things that actually really matter so much.
Really matter.
And I don't want to get caught up in it. I'll pay attention here and there to see what's going on, but I want to care about the things. And here's the thing, Chasing, when you do try to talk about the things that matter, like tonight,
People don't care.
yeah, they don't care. Nobody watches. Nobody cares.
Alex, no, they don't care.
It's so frustrating.
And it's disheartening. And I mean, I guess that's why the Salem witch made sense. Like,
It was so
I
good.
could go say anything because I'm allegedly
Comparison.
credible. So I could go to a chat right now and say, I saw Britney's test. I saw the whole thing. And it was 100% clean. Now what? Would people believe me, or because they hate her so much, I'm no longer credible? Or I could say I saw it and she failed everything and she faked that. It's like point at something and you're a witch. You need to die too. You got to go. You got to die. But they don't really want her to go away, because then what would they have to watch? Nothing.
Yeah.
If today it stopped, what would they watch?
Yeah.
There's nothing.
I can't believe how people are so interested, because you'll see the same people watching the same live. Like if you click in
Well,
and just for 2 minutes, yeah, they're in there every time. It's like, what in the world?
Stream. I'm like, I've already seen the stream. This is a repeat. I demand you to find new content. It's bad.
If the Salem video did not make sense to you, if you got to watch it. Watch it.
People were
Because
so offended. Oh my gosh, they were.
I don't think they watched it.
No.
I think they just were offended by the really? You're going to compare it to burning people at the stake? No, it wasn't about that. It was about the actions of the people before the burning on the stake. How everybody just, oh, she's a witch. She's a witch. Which that's really fascinating. I would love to hear you talk about the actual Salem witch trials. That's so interesting. But
yeah, you might care, and 6 other people.
That's true.
And you get to the point, you're like, oh my God, I can't research one more thing, because I'm going to spend 12 hours making a 35-minute video and nobody gives a shit. And it becomes very, very frustrating. And I think it's because we're in this particular community. Maybe there are other communities who value things like that. I haven't found it yet. Real true crime people don't go live. They upload videos. They do not go live. But you also have to get out of here completely. Unsubscribe to the people. Unsubscribe to the BNN network. Shut off your cable. Unplug it. And get yourself into that algorithm. Because if you don't, we're just part of this community. Like they've said they've said it about me. They've said it about you, Nunya, everybody. Oh, they pretend to be the moral authority, like they care, but they watch it too. Yeah, we do. I mean, we're here.
Yeah.
We're here. So it's what's on TV. It's the only channel we have. So.
It's true. But you know what? Like, I've been watching it a lot less. I watch like other drama places too, like the LCU, and I'm so thankful to have other things to watch. I think people, you guys, like, if you don't, go find other things too, and so that you're not just only in that, because it's so much.
Yeah, I watch a ton of other stuff, documentaries and normal true crime stuff. But
too.
When you come back with your friends, that's where you are.
So true. It's so true.
It's okay,
and you can't really,
as long as you're not attacking her. I mean, it's just like watching from the sidelines, like, what in the world's going to happen next? And you become so invested, you're staying till the end of the story. Like, you're not giving me half a movie that I paid for. Like,
so true. Well, I watch a lot of true crime and stuff too, but like sometimes I'll just not watch the drama here for a couple of days and watch drama somewhere else, and I feel better. I could never be stuck in it like all day, every day. It would be misery to me.
It is.
You can just watch in a couple channels for like 5 minutes and you'll know what's going on. The rest is just repeating it over and over. But okay. Now a couple things real quick I want to ask you, just because I thought these were really interesting, and it'll be quick. Richard Allen, what is he guilty?
My most of my body says no. I just don't believe it. No, I don't think so. I really truly think that yes, he was on the bridge. He admits to being on the bridge. To me, it looked a lot more like a sacrifice of some sort. There was too much symbolism in it for me. There were,
Okay.
and too much was done for one person to be able to do that with nobody seeing anything. I almost believe that they were taken and returned because we physically see them searching the water, and the girls aren't there, and they don't find them until the next day. It's too much. It's too much for one short little man to do. I just don't
Right.
believe it.
And there doesn't seem to be like, which I don't know, because the trial being closed, there's probably a lot that we didn't get to see, but doesn't seem like all the evidence is there of what, like the blood and stuff like that. You hear, I don't know. I
I've
could
read
get onto that.
every single piece of documentation that there is, and that's what I based my Delphi videos on. I read it all, but I did not put out the videos completely. I put like the ritualistic one, then the other man who confessed, then the other man who confessed, then Richard Allen. And I did it that way because I didn't want to have like a preconceived notion. So I read the trial transcripts each day, made my own notes. And then when they released some of the case file stuff, I went through all of that, read that information, and then made the videos. People have confessed. One guy said he spit on one of the girls.
Right.
I mean, there's so much in that story, and the symbolism of the runes and the branches and one naked and one not. And no, there's something so wrong there. There were other people there that day. How did this man do this with not a scream, not a peep? Nobody noticed anything. No, I don't believe it. I can't. I don't.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think so. And especially once we heard when the defense attorneys put out that long, what do you call it? It was like 40 pages about, remember when the first stuff about the guards at the jail and all that.
Yeah.
That right there just,
they were wearing the
and admitted it.
whole thing. Yeah, they admitted it.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Hoodie and a crowbar, thank you. Sorry, Chasing, thank you for joining so much.
Of course.
Go ahead.
I don't
Imagine
know.
what word.
That one bothers me. It still bothers me a lot. I haven't gotten over it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, the David stuff with Celeste. It's a lot.
It is a lot. I'm waiting for something to happen for police to make a move. And that's just trying not to jump onto some of these rumors and stuff because there is so much going on out there.
I could completely come out and be like, he did it. But we know his car was there. We know he was out of town. When was the last time he was in town? Does he have a motive to do that? Did he leave the car with her? Was there a jealous friend? Did she have a different boyfriend? Was it random? We don't know any of this yet. We don't know.
A lot of variables. Yeah.
There's so many, and he's cooperating, and so why haven't they arrested him yet? So, I'm like, I want to blame him, but that's not responsible. And that's kind of morally the conundrum I'm having. I want to jump on all these stories. I see them all, and I'm so interested, but then I'm like, what are you going to say? Because everybody thinks it's him, and 90% probably could be him. But the minute I come out and say, yeah, he's definitely suspicious. I mean, he is suspicious. Let's just tell the truth.
Yeah.
Plus, it's nasty.
The age.
Girl. I don't know. I don't know
either. I guess we wait and see,
Fuck.
Okay. Now, because I got to go get my kids in just a minute, but I have maybe one more. Hold on. Let's see. Harmony Montgomery. How do you feel that Kayla was released already?
I don't feel good about it at all. She knew everything about it, and I think she should have gotten at least 20 years.
I
Yeah.
cannot believe it. It's
She'll be
so
taken care of New England justice style. They're not going to let her be out there for too long. No,
right.
no way.
Well,
She knew too much.
you know,
She knew. She protected Adam. She gonna get hers.
and Harmony's remains that have now been liquefied, separated, all this disgusting shit they did are still yet to be found.
That's
you know?
insane to me. It's insane to me that he got away with that for so long, that they only gave her this little bit of time, and she's out now. What in the entire world? She deserves every single thing that's coming to her, whatever that might be.
Yep, I completely
Harmony was
agree.
an adorable little peanut of a baby.
Oh, so cute. She was so stinking cute.
That's one of the ones that makes me crazy. I can't.
I'm very angry about that. Soup, thank you so much for joining. The reason I'm so angry, Chasing, is because admittedly, she told us Adam punched her multiple times for pissing in the car, and she never even turned around to look if she was okay. She didn't even look back when she handed her food back. She reached back and set it on her legs. So no.
That's a grown man punching that tiny little girl.
Oh my God. I cannot imagine.
I can't. I don't think he'll last too long in prison. And I don't think she'll last too long out. You know, they'll get to him before they get to her probably, but I don't think either one of them will. So.
What about Koberger? How do you think he's going to do? We know he's already kind of complaining, and
I'm so torn on the whole Koberger thing because of his autism, and it's one that's kind of just too close to home for me. Like a brilliant guy, and you know, I look at my own son, I'm like, oh God, this is terrible. What he did, horrible. If they can get to him, he's in a lot of trouble. But at the same time, I don't even know enough about this guy. I understand nothing about him at all. Nothing.
Yeah.
He's just the guy who stares and says yes or no. He says nothing else. Who is this man? You know, that's frustrating that there was no trial, that there's no words out of his mouth at all.
I know. Yeah.
So what the hell?
The empathy part of me can't help but kick in when I think about people like screaming about like essaying him and stuff in prison. And you know, even Letitia, she has a lawsuit right now again for, she's claiming that same thing happened to her. And Jen and I have went over that lawsuit, and you know, even her, as much as I can't stand her, she doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve that. That's just true. No human deserves that.
Yeah.
So yeah, let them do their time. They're already locked up, and come on.
Leticia though, poor Gannon. I can't. I don't know. Does she deserve it? Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I know. She deserves something else. She might deserve to get her ass whipped and all that, but the essay, I just, you know, I can't. Okay, let me ask you.
She deserves to get her ass whooped. Yeah.
That one right there for me is like the case that is, it has my heart and soul, and I wish we knew the details of that candle and stuff. So, that the last question, because I have a bunch more, but I don't have time to get to it. But I'm so thankful you came on, and I could talk to you forever. But this is a Melissa Jade in honor of Melissa, because she loves this question, and I think it's a good one. If there's any case that you could know the 100% truth of, what would you choose?
Summer Wells. Summer. I really want to know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still, so my heart is there. You know, I've distanced my physical self, but I really need to know what happened to Summer Wells.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll bother me.
Maybe we will.
I die. I'll never get over that, ever.
I hope and pray it isn't until you die that we don't know, man, because...
Yeah.
But, you know, that area and these woods are lush. It's a different kind of woods if you've never been to the Appalachian Mountains, and it's just, there's a lot of secrets hidden in
like
those
the woods. I would still want to know how, whatever it was, if we could just snap our fingers and get one wish and know all the details of what happened that day and where she ultimately ended up, I would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd like
it's
to know
too
that
much.
one too. For me, though, with Gannon, and we know so much, we got a trial,
We do.
but we don't know what started. What the hell is the deal with this candle and what happened? Why were there 3 pieces of carpet that were cut up and removed? Like, what was she doing? I
Mm.
would love to know the truth of that. Were you just trying to get
She might
out
have been
home?
trying
Like,
to do a spell. She's a nutball.
who
Who
knows?
knows?
But at other times, because I ended up getting the body cam footage. If you haven't seen it, you got to watch it. It's freaking hilarious. It's like 4 or 5 minutes, and Jen has a couple minutes on her channel. She, about a year before when they first moved, had this fake break-in. There was like
Mm.
a hammer hanging from a string up in the ceiling, all kinds of stuff. And the cops call her out on it. They're like, were you just trying to get your husband home? And she's like, oh, Albert, listen, are you kidding me? Like, how? And he's like, what do you want me to do? He's just like, I can't do nothing. It's crazy, but it makes you
He's
wonder,
crazy. Yeah,
was she trying to get him home or something? And it went, I don't know. But her
it could have.
disdain and hate for him went deep because of those Google searches. So that
Mm.
makes me think maybe something else. But that's the one for me. Even though we know so much, I need to know this poor kid, like the horror that he faced that day. Because think about it. He
So
was
bad.
awake and conscious. We talk about Charlie Kirk. That happened fast, right?
Yes.
Gannon, this was over hours. You see him walking out to the car that morning. What happened, man? What happened? Because
It's a
the
big
candle
one. I would
incident,
want to know. Yeah,
yeah,
it
it
is.
just will never stop bothering me. But anyway, okay. Thank you so much for coming on. I love this.
Welcome.
I could ask you, I have a bunch of more questions, but we don't have
You can
time.
always
But
do a
like,
part 2 another time if you'd like. Just let me
maybe
know.
we can do that. Yeah, because I like Gabby Petito, Michael Vaughn. I got a list here and other
Michael
things.
Vaughn. Huh.
The Brian Laundrie situation, I watched some of your videos on that. Like, I would love to get into that. But yeah, I know you
Definitely.
got
Let me know.
things to do, and
Yeah,
so do
I'd
I.
be
But
happy to come back.
thank you so much for coming on. You guys, please check out her channel.
Sure.
If you haven't, you will not like regret it. She does really great videos, lots of research, and the candles. Both links are in the description. I love them both. And yeah, thank you so much.
Candles.
It was an honor, honestly, because
Thank
like I
you.
said, you and when I found the Marvon and Dre stuff Nonsense was doing at the time, those things really changed the way I viewed how these
That
cases
was
are
a big
looked at
one
and
for
talked
me.
about.
Marvon
Yeah.
and Dre.
See, we could talk about that in a part 2. I would
That
love to
is
talk about that.
huge. How they treated her. Oof.
Yeah, and it changed just your coverage really changed the way I see covering these cases, and it means a lot to me. So thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
And yeah, thank you to the chat, and you guys have a good day, and I'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.